Hello, I'm Richard Lang, and today I'm speaking with Kэtrин Harding.
Hello.
Kэtrin, tell us how you met Douglas and what seeing means to you in your life.
It's a long story. Well, as you well know, I am a child of the war, and the war I'm French, and the war started. I was 7 years old, and pretty soon I was thrown into a world of horror. I witnessed lots of sufferings. I went myself through lots of suffering, my family and myself. And well, I got pretty despaired at some point as a teenager, not believing anything anymore of what people were saying about God and love behind the world and blah blah and all this. I couldn't believe anything anymore. And I got pretty desperate and in great distress, depression. I was 15, 16 years old, and at some point I think I was ready to take my life. And then one night I was so sad and so falling down in an abyss of tears. And then suddenly, at dawn, I just came out of this. I just, as if I was emerging from an abyss, and found myself in clear light, in bliss and peace, and felt a presence, a loving presence. And I thought, well, that's it. We are all mistaken. This is where we belong. This is what I really am, and we are mistaken by all what is going on outside in the world.
Powerful experience.
Yes, powerful experience. And it gave me the certainty that this was, period. And I tried to share it with my friends or my mother, but no way. People thought I was just a little bit crazy, and that was teenage. Then of course, for a few months, I walked on a cloud, keeping this alive. But then slowly, I was drawn into the outside world again and lost it, or thought I'd lost it. And then I went through my life and had lots of happiness and problems like everyone else. But from time to time, I was sent back to this spacious, infinite awareness, luminous, that is here. But it was by chance. I hadn't found the way of going back there by myself. And at some point of my life, I was in Paris, and I had a friend who was a spiritual seeker. I was not. I was too much involved in making a living for my 5 children, and I was not involved in spiritual seeking, properly speaking. I was interested. I met Tibetan Buddhists, and I was practicing yoga, and I was interested, but I wasn't seeking someone, a guru or something like this. And a friend of mine one day came to me and said, I know what your position is. You won't believe anything except what you experience, but here is a book you should read. It's very interesting. It's called On Having No Head. And I said, okay, I'm going to try and get the book. And I didn't have time to get the book. And before, this friend called me again and said, well, better than the book, the author of the book is coming to Paris next weekend and giving a workshop. I'm going and I'll take you there. And I said, oh, don't bother. I don't want to go there. I'm not interested. I know what it's going to be, rubbish and all. Lots of words and expensive meetings. No, this guy is never asking for money practically. So, well, anyway, it happened that this friend of mine literally dragged me there. He came for me with his car and he dragged me to this workshop. And we entered and had already started. And Douglas was speaking with such humor and the gift of a speaker, I must say. And he pretty soon started an experiment, which is now my favorite experiment, which is a single eye. And my goodness.
Noticing you're looking out
Yes,
at this openness.
Exactly. Noticing there is nothing, you don't have two eyes, but this infinite eye where the world is coming out of. And awareness, aware infinite space, and that's what you are. And I thought, that's it. That's what I saw 60 years ago. And this is a way to go back.
Direct experience.
Direct experience.
Yeah.
And then he went on and on with all his experiments, and that's what I was bowled over. Absolutely bowled over. I thought, this guy is really a genius, because also he kept repeating, don't believe a word of what I'm saying, test it, you are the authority. Good Lord, that was the first time in my life I heard this. Someone telling you, you are your own authority. And at the end of the workshop, I went up to the platform where he was left alone, in fact, and I told him, I think you are a genius, this is extraordinary, I want to help, what can I do? And he said, well, you seem to speak English fairly well, so I've written several books, and maybe you could help me translate, have one or two translated. And then I got involved. A few weeks later, he called me to ask me to come and be his interpreter in a workshop in France, in Dijon. I had never done this in my life. I was scared to death, but immediately it went all right. We just worked together as if one. And after that, he invited me to a workshop in the summertime, and then we decided I would come to where he lived in Acton to see his books. And I never left then. I went there, and I practically never left. I just left to go. I think I went there with 3 suitcases. And I left everything in France, because I knew it was, Richard, as if I had been a sailing boat, sailing over the ocean of life. And then suddenly I had found my port, the harbor, the port, I don't know. I didn't have to go any further. And
your life had changed.
Well, I found that I could reach this infinite space that I am, that you are, that we all are, at will. And that what Douglas kept saying that made people smile, I'm not what I look like, I am not only different, but I'm the opposite, and became so true, so obvious that we really imagine a head above our shoulders, and there is none. There is all the time nothing but the world. And now I have this your lovely living room over my shoulder, your beautiful trees out there, and you. And then we are one, because we're trading faces. I have your face and none other.
You were in the world of seeing from that moment on. I mean, Douglas was seeing, and you were doing lots of workshops, so it was right on the front burner for you the whole time. Exactly.
And life with him was really, really, really beautiful. Even, I don't say it was absolutely, ideal. No, we had ding-dongs like all other couples, but immediately, having taken the habit to disappear in favor of the world, in favor of the other, when anything happened due to our differences as little persons, immediately the reflex is to come back here and see that in fact there is no one here, and accept the other one as he is because of his own conditioning, knowing that you have your own conditioning as little persons. And that's so useful in a life of a couple, which makes up for humor. You end up laughing instead of ding-donging.
So Douglas died a few years ago now, and what is that like for you now that he's gone?
Yeah, well, it's been very, very hard. I still miss him as little Douglas, but he's with me in this immensity and awareness. I can really feel his presence within me, but it was difficult, very difficult. It was like being put in inside a shaker and being shaken all over, and I couldn't get out of the shaker. I had no place to go. I felt homeless in every sense of the word, except that then it made me find and see that this is my only home, really, because I didn't feel well anywhere, and I having to leave the house where I had been living with Douglas for many reasons. I had to leave, and I was just, tossed over, and it took 5 years.
So during that difficult time, you kept coming back home.
Exactly. I kept coming back home, and the single eye is so useful because you just have to open this here and see that you are this immensity and dissolve in this land of everlasting clarity. Just dissolve, let yourself, or let your being go down, down, down and dissolve in it. And then you are at peace, and you find that the light is within yourself and the joy of being is within yourself, wherever you are, whatever happens. And this never changes. Things out there change. My life has gone like a film, and Douglas's appearance has gone. But here, you remain with everything, past, present, and future. It's in here. And
so that's two big changes. Meeting Douglas was a huge change for you, and then Douglas dying.
And then losing Douglas.
Douglas.
Yes.
And since then, you've been, since he died, seeing has proved itself as a practical help.
I don't know what I would have done with it, really, Richard. Yes, I don't know what I would have done. It helped me so much, and it still helps me because, as I said, Douglas is still present within me. I've loved him so much, and I still love him so much. But I also see that little Catherine is not with me for a long time anymore, and this helps. I'm not what I look like, and now I live it, really, because I'm watching, helpless, this body called Catherine slowly decaying, and I can't do anything about it. It's going. And yet here, I am still 0 year. I'm ageless. I feel so much energy. So it's obvious that this is going to go. But this is different. This has nothing to do with that. And it's a great comfort. It's a great freedom, liberation. I less and less identify with this envelope here, this case. I realize really that the one that I am, that you are, the one has been using this envelope to appear and do something in this world, and as many say, to rediscover himself or itself through Catherine little consciousness.
You're back in France now, but you're continuing to give workshops and share seeing.
Yes, I do. Why do I do this? Because I think it's such an instrument, a good way to freedom and to peace and joy of life, of being. So when I go, whenever I'm asked to go, some people invite me to come and share, or I share it when I feel that someone is ready for it, or something tells me I can just introduce this in a way also. But I'm never imposing it on anyone. I have lots of friends, dear friends, who are not ready to hear about this, and that's all right.
And you've also got many friends in France and in England that you share this with.
I've got hundreds of friends in France and elsewhere. We are a community. We are really a community. And now I'm going to settle down in France. I've just chosen and my house is going to be a place where anyone who wants to come can come and just be with next to me, or share if they want to, or be one, because I think this way is the way to the ground for love. I'm not saying it's love immediately, but I'm saying that when you let yourself sink into this light, that you are, this clear, aware light that you really, really are, then you can't help being open to everyone else and ready to love everyone.
You see, they are you.
At least to embrace them as they are. So that's why I think it's so precious. Because I've always been impressed by what Jesus said, love each other. But then when you are shut up in your little person, you think you are only this. It's very difficult to love the others, because they are so different, and there are arguments and. But when you see you are one, when you see there is, that you are both. You are the little one, which is important, but more important, and basically you are the one here. Then it's easy to accept everyone and to love them, and it changes your relationships. I've just met on the French beach. I was walking and I met a group of teenagers, very angry teenagers, coming from the suburbs. And one of them was wearing a T-shirt with "Life is hell" in French. I was really shocked, and I found myself just in front of him, so I couldn't help asking him, "Do you really think what is on your T-shirt?" And he said, "Yes, I do, of course." I said, "Why do you think so?" "Oh, because really this world is horrible, and everybody hates us because we are we are from Africa, North Africa, some other countries, but we've been brought here." And then suddenly we started talking, and I felt so much love for them. I thought, well, these are my children. And they felt it, so they immediately changed. No aggressivity, they smiled, and I'm sure this is the answer too. As soon as even someone aggressive feels that you are open to, and you respect him or her, and you accept him or her as they are, they also let go.
And it's just the truth, isn't it? That we're built open for each other.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's just, I couldn't, if I wanted, I couldn't put up a face here now to make a barrier to prevent your face from coming here.
Well, thank you, Catherine.
Well, this is it, and I just want to add that Douglas was a wonderful person.
Yes.
On top of being a genius.
Yes.
And he really was a wonderful person.
What a great gift to the world.
Yes, and to me, I'm so grateful I met him.
Yes.
And what a great gift to the world. Yes.
So simple, so accessible.
Exactly.
So practical.
That's what he did, because he kept saying himself, I'm not saying anything else that has been said for 2,000 years in the traditional ways. The only thing that his contribution is the experiments which make you perceive by yourself, for yourself, without an intermediary. Provided you are open to it, of course. So, and I thank you, Richard, for all the work you're doing, because you are, now I can rest. I'm 80 and I'm going to do what I can, but I know that you are doing the job, and so is José in France, and many of our young friends.
Yes.
Many of our young friends are going on trying and spreading this message, which is so precious. So the rest is not within our hands.
No.
It's the one.
Yes. Thank you.
So.